Good morning. This
Morning.
is Leslie Walker-Hirsch for Glass Alliance, New Mexico, and today it is my great pleasure to interview and speak with Ben Miller. Ben is a young glass artist who is the recipient of the Glass Alliance 2017 Scholarship Award to Pilchuck, the famous glass school. Ben, I'm so glad you're here today.
Well, thank you for having me, Leslie.
Well, great. Well, I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. So how did you ever become interested in becoming an artist who works in glass?
So actually, when I was in high school, I started working with ceramics. I really didn't know what I wanted to do with my career. Both of my parents were lawyers, and I really had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew I didn't want to do that. So I started working with clay my sophomore year of high school, and I got more and more into it. And by the time I was a senior, I decided that I really wanted to attend Alfred University for ceramics. And so I went there, and during my sophomore year at Alfred University, I discovered glass, and I've been addicted ever since.
Well, it's a good thing to be addicted to.
It is.
And so how would you describe your own glass work before you attended Pilchuck?
My work was very, very pattern-based with a lot of traditional forms, mostly focused on the intricacies of the patterning that I was doing. And it was definitely an underdeveloped body of work. It was something I kind of had a few leads on, but something that I really felt like I needed to develop, which is why I was very happy to get the opportunity to go to Pilchuck and develop those ideas.
And what do you think Pilchuck's committee, scholarship committee, saw in your work that made them know that you had a future and that your talent could be developed there?
Well, I think a big part about it was just, I think they recognize a lot of the hard work that I put into my process. A lot of what I do takes a couple months, from start to finish to really kind of plan out and go through and cut everything down to size and make it all work for the patterning techniques that I use. I think Pilchuck and the staff there really appreciate all of the hard work that someone puts in and when they really dedicate to a project and, are really in it for the long-term goal, because everyone they want at Pilchuck, they want to be hardworking and really be pushing themselves. And so I think they recognize that in my work and really, wanted me to come to Pilchuck and use that skills there.
Well, that's exciting that people recognize something in you that you knew is already there. So how do you think your work, your Pilchuck adventure, will change your future works, or has it already done that, or is it too soon to tell?
I think it's already started to change my works in slight ways, here and there. I mentioned before that my work before Pilchuck was very traditional in terms of the forms that I was using. And I think already from being up there during my time, I've seen a lot of new sculptural forms and a lot of different techniques that I can use to kind of express myself in new abstract forms and things like that. And so my plan when I get back to New Mexico is to really start exploring those forms and expanding my body of work in that direction. And Pilchuck has been hugely influential for me in that way.
And has it changed you personally as opposed to artistically?
I think it has. Every time, this is not my first time at Pilchuck, but every time I've been there, it's absolutely changed me personally. The people you meet, the connections you make, and, the artist community, especially the glass community, is actually a lot smaller than people think. And, just meeting people and getting to know them and, spreading your work and, spreading your name is really important. And I've met a lot of people who I want to make work with and a lot of people who have influenced me. And I'm sure a lot of people who I've influenced. So it's really been an enlightening experience this time around.
And would you advise other New Mexico artists to apply for future Glass Alliance New Mexico scholarships as soon as we raise enough money to get a new one going? What would you tell them?
I would tell them absolutely. I think the opportunity to get some financial aid from the New Mexico Glass Alliance is really a great opportunity to go to these places like Pilchuck or possibly Penland or Haystack. These great, art schools where people come from around the world to come together and bring their ideas and share their knowledge. And, I love that the Glass Alliance of New Mexico put together this scholarship because it really made Pilchuck accessible for me this year. And I really do appreciate that. And I would advise any artist who wants to go to these schools to absolutely apply for these scholarships and try and make them work to their advantage.
Well, I know that part of the requirements for this scholarship is that you come to a Glass Alliance event and give a talk to tell about your experience. So I hope that you and some of the people that you met will be interested in hearing what you say. But if a person wanted to buy one of your pieces or perhaps even commission one, how would they reach you?
So the easiest way to get a hold of me is either through my website or my email address. My website is www.3bmglass.com, and that has all of my contact information there, from my phone number to my personal email address. But my personal email address, if anyone wanted to get a hold of me, is 3bmglass@gmail.com. And that's my personal email as well as my work email, and I answer all questions and contacts through that.
Well, this has been a lovely few minutes to spend with you, Ben, and I know that the readers of the Glass Alliance newsletter will be very interested in hearing what you have to say. So I'll look forward to seeing you again, maybe in person, and have a wonderful day.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thank you, Ben. Bye-bye.
Bye.